What's poppin' with the squad? How y'all doing? How y'all living? It's your boy Amari. We back with another one, and man, I got an album review for y'all, and it was not the album review I thought I would be dropping on y'all. This Jack Harlow album, we gotta talk about it. I'm disappointed. Mad disappointed. What a lot of people have started picking up is that when it comes to the sophomore album, the second album in an artist's career, whether it be a rapper, R&B singer, it doesn't matter. It seems to be where we find that slump. That slump the artist can't really get out of. They're releasing for the sake of releasing, or maybe because they were pressured into a release, maybe because they fall into heavily into what gave them success on the first album, that they don't really evolve, grow, and, lean more into what their sound is. This was one of those albums for me. I hate to say it, but I did not really enjoy this album. I found it boring. I found it kind of repetitive. I found it, and here's the kicker, I found it derivative of himself. We see Jack Harlow constantly with his swag, with his laid-back persona, with his everybody loves him, he's easy to talk to, this, that, and the other type persona, and that comes through clear as day in his music. In some ways, it even comes across as more Drake-like than Jack Harlow-like, because if you listen to Drake, you'll see the way he flows, the way he talks when he's on the mic. It's very reminiscent of what Jack Harlow has been doing. And that's not to say all of what Jack Harlow has done has been to copy Drake. What I am saying is that we can obviously tell where Jack Harlow's influence comes from, especially on this album, and I honestly don't think that did anything for him. I personally think that hindered him more than anything. Production was cool, nothing I haven't heard before. I feel like the production maybe would have hit a little bit harder if the verses came through a little bit more. That's not to say that they were bad verses, but there were definitely no outrageous verses, outrageous bars that come to mind as soon as I think of the album, with the exception of the track he did with Drake, which I will admit was a pretty fire track, but even that, I think that's only comparative to the rest of the album. I don't think that's going to be a Billboard Hot 100 track. I don't think that's going to be a #1 single. I don't think that's going to be on everybody's mind for very long, to be honest. I think people are going to go back to this album and they're going to hear that song and they're going to be like, ooh, this song is nice, but what about the rest of the album? And they're going to get their hopes up and their hopes are going to get let down. That's just my opinion. I think Jack Harlow is a talented rapper. I think that he knows what he's doing. I think he's built the right relationships. I really do enjoy some of his music. I'm not going to lie to you. Nail Tech, it was okay. I'm not going to lie to you. First Class, it wasn't bad. It took some time to grow on me, but it wasn't bad. But if we're going back to his first album, if we're going back to what's poppin' and everything he did with that, in my opinion, this album just doesn't compare, and it falls flat. I genuinely just was trekking through this album, just trying to get through it as fast as I could, and even when I re-listened to it, I just didn't find anything more for me to enjoy than I did the first time. I don't think a lot of the tracks have necessarily replay value. I think I enjoy hearing the freestyles and the free verses over the First Class beat or the Nail Tech beat, and I think that's dope, but even neither of those songs really stick with me. Overall, like I said at the beginning, just very disappointed in this one. Hopefully Jack comes back stronger with his third album. Overall, I'd probably rate this no, it's not DS4 bad. It's not Ian Dior bad. No, it's not that bad. I'd probably give this a solid 5 maybe. Just because it was the perfect way to describe it. It was mid, and that's not like it was like super terrible or anything. It was just mid. It was just there. That's all it was for me. I'm sorry. Feel free to share your opinion. Drop down to the comments. Talk to me. What do you guys think? How do you feel? I will see y'all in the next one. I'm gone.